Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about very important interview question that is input OTP. Okay. Now in daily basis we are observing about this OTP process. So how to develop that OTP process today we'll see. Now let me show for you before going into the practical example. Suppose I'll take this website. So if you observe this website, see it is giving like number of examples for us related to the OTP session. Okay, this is one of the OTP and this one is also one type of OTP. Okay, now let me consider this one. So if I'll enter number to this first input box, it is automatically focusing to the next input box. Now again it is focusing to the next input box. If I'll backspace, then again it is removing the current value. Then it is going to the back and it is removing next back input value. Correct? So like this we need to develop uh, like input OTP. So this is one of the interview question. So for that one, let me create your one file. So that file name I'll use your input OTP dot .jsx. Okay, let me create first one function. So what we'll take function name. So let me take function name is input OTP or else directly I'll take as OTP. Okay. Uh, just export here first. I'm using default export. Okay. Now after exporting, let me write here one statement. Okay. I'll use element, call it as h1 and use here OTP or else input OTP. Okay. Just call this function into app.jsx. First import is required. So what I given component name is OTP and just use OTP function and comment previous task. Okay, just run the code npm run diff. Okay, now it is executing that particular function. Okay, let me go to that function. Okay, now here what I'll do is I'll create one input box. Here it is expecting one parent function. So take division as parent. Okay. Now what happened? It's created one input box. Okay. But this input, how it is showing like small size, right? So let me add here class name equals to class name I'll use input OTP. Just copy that input OTP. Where is our app.css? Here, right? So what I'll do, okay. Now here I'll use like width equals to 30 pixel and height is also same I want. So height is also I'm using as 30 pixel. Now after that how it is showing, just check. Fine, it is giving one box. But if I'll enter some letter where it is showing at left. So for that one, I'll use here text align value is center I need to change my font size of the text. So let me take it as large. Fine. But if you observe here, how many inputs we have? I think five inputs we have. But if you observe here, it is showing only one. So like this, how many you need to create? Still five more you need to create. But that five more I don't want to repeat with the same tag. Instead of that, I'll create one array. Based on the array, based on map function, I'll iterate this input. Okay. Now for that one, let me create here first one state. I'll create a state with input array and set input array. So here I'll create use state, and inside the use state I need to create one array. So how to create array? New array, and with the length is 5. So first let me print this one, how it is showing console.log of input arr. Now just inspect it, go to console. Let me increase the size. Huh. See, if you observe, it is showing like empty, like there is no value, but its a size should be 5. Okay. Now, what I'll do, as of now, I'll fill this value with the empty string. Okay. Now, if I give empty string, now what happened? So, length, array length is 5, with the values is empty string. So, I need to create based on this array 5 input boxes. So how to create it? With the help of map function we can do, right? So take here input array dot map. Okay, I'm wrapping that element. So here what I need to do, I'll take value as well as index number. So anyway we have to give key with the unique number, so I'm using index value. So if you observe here, okay, we previously we said with the 6 numbers, right? Let me take 6. Okay. Now if you observe, 6 input boxes created, but there is no space between each element, right? Let me take some space. So I'm using margin left with the 10 pixel. So it is giving, yes, perfectly. It is giving all the things good. So, and next what I'll do, and the next task. Okay. Now the next task is, uh, if you go with here, now what it is doing, see, i- let me refresh it. Okay. Now if I'll enter value 1, automatically it is refocusing to second box. Now after entering value again, it is refocusing to the next input box. So based on the element reference, it is focusing that particular element. So for that one, what I need here, let me take, I think it is confusing. Let me close all. Only I need to write. One is input OTP. Oh, it's created outside. Okay, it's okay. I'll change later that, because I need to move that to components. Okay, fine. Where we have that in. Okay, yes. Okay, now here what I want, references we need. references required for us, right? So for that one, what is the concept we have? Use ref. So let me take as here, let me take the input reference and I'll create one ref function with the empty object. Okay. Now here we have one ref attribute. This one already you know. So ref attribute, and inside the ref attribute, okay, what I'll do, just check. I'll print here the value e. Okay. Now if I'll print value e, what it is showing? What happened? Any syntaxes I given wrong? Console dot log unexpected token, comma. Oh, where I'm giving this? I'm giving outside of the input. Okay. Now see, if you observe what happened, each element it is targeting, right? Ref it is focusing on each element of the reference. So what I'll do, what I'll do is uh let me assign this to my use ref. So how to assign to this use ref? Just focus on input ref. So if you observe my previous classes, I said it will return one object with the property call it as current, right? Now inside the current I'm passing value as index. So each index of the input I'm passing to this use ref again and again. So again it is giving error. What is that? Input ref. Okay, input ref. Let me check here. Huh. So now if you observe here, now what happened? Again and again it's assigned to the input ref, but you are not able to see. Just go with the console.log of input ref. So after giving that, now what happened is why it is not printing console.log with the array, right? Oh, input ARR I printed. Sorry. It's my bad. Okay. Now input ref. Okay. Now if you observe, here what happened in each, see inside the current for the each index number, we are assigning one input box reference. Okay. So based on this input box reference, we can focus to this each input, right? So in the scenario, my first task what I want is when I refresh, like when I refresh this I mean like what I want to say is, like for the first time, if this component is rendering into the browser, automatically my first box should focus. Okay, that is my concept. So as soon as enter into the, what is it, DOM, we need to focus to the input box. So for that one, what we need, let me remove this console. Okay, so as soon as enter into the browser, so what we need to use effect, means component did mount I need to do. So for that one, here I'm using use effect, and inside the use effect, so what I'll do, input ref dot my current of index number 0, then I need to focus my zeroth index number. So focus method, this is JavaScript method, let me consider it as an optional. See, if I'll refresh, automatically it is targeting to my first input box. Okay, that is my first task. And later on, see, if you observe here, even though if I'm entering alphabets, it is considering, and numbers also considering, and one more thing, multiple elements, like multiple numbers also considering. But here what I want, only uh, what is it, one character I want to take it. So for that one, in the um, HTML, we have an attribute called it as maximum length can accept here with 1. So if you observe, even if I'm entering multiple characters, it is taking only 1. Now again, if I'll enter, see, it is taking only the 1 number. So first task is fixed, but second task, if multiple values, I mean characters, not the multiple, even though if you are entering alphabets, it is considering, but I want to eliminate for the characters, I want to take only numbers. So for that one, what I'm doing is, when I'll uh, enter the value, then that I need to retrieve, then I need to check whether that is number or that is a character. So for that one, I need to create one uh, function. So with the on change, I'll create one function. So before going to the create function, again check with the console what it is showing. So if I'll print, let me comment this one also. Huh. So if I enter anything, now it is returning one object for us, and inside the object, okay, inside the object, now it is showing like target, and inside the target value, and inside the value we have s. So based on this, what is it, on change of the method, we can target that particular input box, and after the input box we can retrieve that value. So that value is whether it is number or not, we can check. So it is retrieving one object for us, right? So what I'll do, let me create one function. That function name is change handle change. I'm passing e along with my index number, because I need to receive index number along with that particular targeted value, right? So I'll take this function, I'll create here one function, handle change. So handle change having two parameters, one is e and one more thing is index. Okay, now let me take console. Before the console, what I'll do is, I'll create one variable with the value. So how to receive the value, e dot target target dot value. Just print here console dot log of value. Suppose user entering, okay, suppose user entering here number 3 cannot read the properties of undefined value at line number 15. Mhm. I think target spelling is wrong. Okay, let me check again. Yes. So what happened? It is receiving number 5. Sorry, 3. Then again, let me give 5. So it is taking number 5. Along with the index numbers, it will take. Okay. Now, let me check the value is whether it is number or not. If it is not the number, I don't want to return anything. So if I'm not returning anything, then it will not show that value to this input box. Means I'm not going to assign that value to the input box. So how to check it? If you know about the JavaScript functions, uh, sorry, not the JavaScript function, in JavaScript concepts, in the JavaScript concept we have one concept, call it as pattern concept. Okay, now that pattern concept give correctly, uh, like patterns, like for the email, for the phone number, and for the now, whether it is number or not, we need to check. So for that one we can use patterns concept. So now my pattern is if 0 to 9, okay, 0 to 9. If this pattern condition is only for the numbers. If it is not the number, I'm using not operator. If it is not the number, what I want to do, I don't want to return anything. But whether it is number or not, we need to check with this value, right? So to test that value, we have one function in the pattern concept, that is test function with the value. If my value is whether it is not the number or number, if it is not the number, then what I want to return? I want to return nothing. Okay. Now let me check. Suppose here I'm entering value 3. It is giving 3. Now I'm entering value A. Is it giving A? Let me check. If not, test value. Okay, it is not working, right? Okay, let me go with one more method. If is not a number, if it is not a number, what is not a number? My value is not a number. Then I want to return value as nothing. Okay, still it is giving a. Okay, let me check this one. Let me check this scenario. Okay, as of now I'll hold it. I'll check that process later. And one more concept I'll do. See, after entering, again I need to focus on to the next input box. After focusing, then again I need to focus to the another input box automatically. So how to do that one? We need to uh, take the value. If this particular input box have the value, then only I need to go to the next input box, means index number plus 1, with the focus method. So how to do that one? Just see. I'll create here one function. So that function name is new array. and inside, sorry, not the function, I'm creating new array uh, with my old one. So let me take this. Fine. So after creating new array, what I'll do is I'll pass my value with the input like index. Okay. To that particular index, I'm passing my value. Okay. Now this value I need to update it. So set input array, and inside it I'm passing my new value. Fine. Now after passing it, if if the value is present into the input box, and if the index number is less than, I want to repeat this loop up to where if my index number is less than the reference of the input boxes dot length. Okay, dot length length. So that time what I want to do, I want to focus my input. So input dot current of index plus 1. So focus method, let me take this one is also like optional. uh, Let me check here whether it is focusing or not. If I enter 1, cannot read the properties of length undefined. uh, Let me check with -1. Line number 23, right? See, again I did mistake. I'm confusing between reference as well as with the input ARR. It's my bad. Okay, now again check. Now it is focusing to the next input box, right? Now again it is focusing to the next input box. Now check again. Now entered value. See, perfectly it is focusing to the another input box. Let me use characters. For the characters also it is giving. Let me check about the characters later. Fine. But now here one more problem we have. See, but if I'll backspace again and again, now it is not coming to the forward stage. I mean, like from last index to the starting index, it is not removing. So what I'll do is I need to target my backspace. Based on the backspace, I need to eliminate all the values, right? So for that one, I'll create one function here with the on key up or on key down. Anything is fine. So I'll use here one function that is on key down with the, first let me check what we have inside it. I'll print this e, what it is giving on key up, that I want to check first. Huh. It's giving one object with the on key down, and see, on key down having one key, that key is nothing but backspace, right? So let me create here one function. So that function name I'm creating like this: handle key down. Okay, handle key down. Then I'll pass e along with my index number. Okay, because based on the index numbers only we can delete the values. Fine. So just write one function here. Okay, write one function. So what is that function name? Const. Take this function. So which is having two parameters. One is e and one more thing is index. Right? Now, just now we observed e dot key value is backspace. Okay, if okay. Now if e dot key value is backspace, so that time again what I'll do is I'll create new array. Again I'm creating new array. So that new array is ARR. Okay, now with the same state, so let me create new array. Huh. So after creating new array, again I'll take if condition. If my input array of index, any particular input box is equals to empty string. Okay, if it is equals to empty string, then what I want here, we need to move back uh, to the what is it current input box. Okay, and that current input box, if it is empty, then only I need to move back. So let me write here one comment: move back if current is empty, if current input value is empty. Okay, so if condition, now previously we are going with the forward stage, right? Now let me take my index number is greater than the 0. Okay, if it is greater than the 0, then my input ref dot current of index number minus 1 1, and I need to focus the value. Okay, now optional parameter with the focus function. Fine, let me check here. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now backspace. Fine, yes, it is giving correct. But in some scenarios, okay, if in back, like if in the case, suppose if my condition is not in the empty stage. Okay, if it is not in the empty stage, what I want to do, first I need to uh, remove that particular index value. I need to assign that in value to the empty string. Okay, after assigning to the empty string, then I'll set that input value as new array. Then later again I'll come back to the same position. See, fine, it is forwarding and it is coming backstage.